Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hello and welcome to I Love ... Ra. Now, Ra is one of the first gods to have ever emerged on the scene of Smite, and he is the god of the sun, and also a chicken. He's an Egyptian god and a mage, known for high sustain and his ability to push. Now, Ra is one of my personal favorite gods. I actually mained him for quite a while. He's rank 6 on my account, which as of right now, embarrassingly enough, is the highest god rank that I have. I played him every game, all day, every day for quite a while. Also, I'd like to apologize for Stone of Gaia first item. However, that's actually usually what I build in Assault. Though it was kind of stupid being as Ra has a heal, so it's kind of pointless. Just to give you a little rundown on the lore behind Ra, he is a guardian, the keeper of Ma'at, order and truth, and master of the sun. Each day he sails across the sky in a golden ship, and each night traverses the underworld, bringing light and warmth to the death beneath the horizon. For those in the scorched south, Ra was the first god, creator of earth and sky, and father to all other gods. But Ra's time is fading. Like a twilight sky, his descendants have grown in power and prominence and seek to replace him as the figure of authority. His own granddaughter, Isis, cleverly poisoned him by secretly summoning a viper under his feet. When he stepped on it, the serpent's venomous bite poisoned him. Isis promised to heal Ra if he revealed to her his true name. At first he refused, for knowledge of his true name would give Isis unparalleled power over him. But as the pain mounted, Ra was forced to relent. Isis kept her word and Ra was healed, though the cost may have been too high. Light can heal, but light can also burn. So, Ra's kit is one of the, if not the, most simple kit in the entirety of the game of Smite. We start off with his passive, known as the Speed of Light. Basically, it's a buff to himself, and every single time he uses an ability, he gains a stack. When Ra's passive is fully stacked, it yields around a 6% increase in movement speed. Now, this doesn't sound too impressive, but it can lead to a decisive victory in many escapes late game. And that's it. Simple enough, but quite effective. I find that it's one of my favorite passives, being as though Ra is a mage, he actually has quite fast rotations. He can get over to team fights quicker than a lot of mages in the game right now. And if you've ever tried to kill a Ra who has a full passive running in circles in his heal, it is extremely difficult. And this is what made Ra shine in my eyes. No pun intended. So on to his first ability, the line damage that is very, very slow, and this is known as Celestial Beam. Ra summons a moving beam of intense light from the sky, doing damage to anyone caught under the beam. And this does 335 plus 70% of your magical power when fully leveled. Now that doesn't sound too overwhelmingly awesome, however, I can assure you that this ability will kill most squishy gods very, very quickly. You will be hitting Circuits and Apollos and tiny little babies for about 3/4 of their health if you build damage Ra, which I always do. Now we move on to Ra's second ability, an area of effect slow that takes 2 seconds to proc. However, when it does, it's devastating. He slows every enemy within the area of effect, as well as blinding them. And if you have ever been blinded by a Ra, you know that that is significantly more devastating than it sounds. By the way, if you're facing a Ra, here's a quick tip. When he uses his 2, make sure to look away, because the slow stacks build on you slower, and when the 2 finally pops, you will not be blinded. Now moving on to Ra's third ability, Solar Blessing. It's a ground target area of effect that heals all teammates and damages all enemies within it. Damage-wise, this can do up to 68 plus 20% of your magical power per tick. Also healing 60 plus 15% of your magical power to all allies within the area of effect. This can really help to turn the tides in team fights, because once you get your slow off and you put your heal down, all of a sudden not only are your teammates constantly mitigating the damage being taken, but you are also doing damage to any enemies that have to get within melee range of them and slowing them with your 2. We must now move on to Ra's ultimate ability, and possibly one of the most satisfying abilities in the entire game of Smite. It is known as Searing Pain. Basically, this is a line ability that does about 700 plus 100% of your magical power late game when it's fully leveled, and despite its wind-up time, which can make it hard to land, when you land it, oh mama, you feel like a god. I'm talking like a badass god. You just feel like you could punch your mother in the face and get away with it. Okay? Don't do that, but that's what you feel like. What was I saying? Oh yeah, his ultimate. If there was anything in Smite close enough to being a sniper, it would be Ra's ultimate ability. I love it. It's amazing. I can't get enough of it, and it's pretty much 80% of the reason I played Ra for as long as I did, and as much as I did. And that wraps up Ra's abilities, so now let's move on to when you should use him. That's the thing about Ra. He doesn't really have a set comp where he works and where he doesn't work. He's very versatile, if you will. He works in just about every comp. He adds a large amount of mitigation for damage to your team, as well as fast rotations and a very, very reliable securing of any kill that might be getting away with low health and you just wanna, you know. So, in conclusion, Ra is fun. He's simple, but effective. His kit requires very little skill to use, but quite a bit of skill to master, and that is why he is one of the most used gods in Smite. While he is not exactly top tier in the meta as of this moment, he is always going to be a good crutch for any skilled Smite player.
It looks like he may commit suicide. Oh, suicide is badass.
Hey, thanks for stopping by and watching my video. I hope you liked it. If you did, why don't you like it, you know? Show me your support. It'd be fun. It takes like 2 seconds. It's free. You know, there's no reason not to. I like it. You like it. She wombos. He wombos. Did I do a meme?